No time for a countdown today because it's far too important to talk about. Let's just jump right into it, Dom. Looting, unrest breaks out around Philadelphia. Just another day or week here in KRASNERLAND. Today I've compiled a lot of the footage that was shot these past 2 nights. So if you're unaware, early this week, Mark Dial, a police officer who was charged with the shooting death of Eddie Irizarry, his charges were dismissed. Krasner put him up for first-degree murder charges, among others, and the judge found new evidence. There was a new video that was shown that suggests that the cop was told, Mark was told prior, that the assailant had a gun. So he... First-degree murder, the implications of that is that it's premeditated, that the cop went there with the idea that he wanted to go and murder this individual, and now we have evidence pointing elsewhere. So any judge in their right mind is going to toss that case. What does Krasner do, Dom? He refiles the exact same charges. So first off, your thoughts before we get into all this footage of the Mark Dial situation, Dom?
Well, you're starting to see, Dan, the people who are egging on the anti-police sentiment, NAACP, the sheriff, who's a, quote, law enforcement officer, saying, why can't you just go forward with a trial? You'll find something out. This is the idiot who heads up a department where they can't find 200 guns. This guy has been put in jail, in prison, no parole, facing life, and she just wants to have a trial. This judge is a hero this week. It takes a lot for a judge in Philadelphia to do this. She's an independent. And Dan, the theory is he was overcharged, first-degree murder, and all these other charges are kind of in line with that. You're right. There was new evidence. She dismissed it. This guy is not going to be found guilty in the end of anything, but Krasner is going to play this out for 3 or 4 years. It'll go to the state Supreme Court again.
Yeah. So, Dom, I'm going to pull up a map here. This is from Google Maps. I just put this together, and it's not a comprehensive map, but it's just an idea that this looting down here, these are the, Foot Locker, Lululemon, the Apple. And then you come up here, you have another store that was hit. You have another store over here. This is a beauty supply, Nat's Beauty Supply. So it's all over the city, Dom. They're traveling, they're looting, and it's just complete unrest here in the city. And I went to Twitter to make a theory. I think Krasner wants this. The proof being that he filed the exact same charges a second time. It only helps his cause when these people are out here causing havoc because it gives him reason to, force through criminal justice reform and all this stuff. Do you see that angle at all?
He's not unhappy about it. Yeah, chaos, the George Soros approach, Dan. The system is rotten, so he wants to bring it down. He's very successful at it. It's going to be interesting, though. This meatball woman, the influencer, is charged with 5 felonies. It's a name that we're going to remember, given how obnoxious this whole thing was. So people are going to be tracking this. And Steve Keeley, Dan, exclusively tracked that one of the people charged with burglary is a guy that Krasner recently knocked down a murder charge. You have footage, I think, of the shot. He hit this guy as a bouncer.
And we'll make our way to that. Yep.
Yeah, and let him out on jail. Keeley brought this up, and you found the footage.
Yeah, so, Dom, what we're seeing here, Dom, I want to take it step by step. Yeah. First, the Apple Store, Walnut Street, all these were hit, Lululemon, Foot Locker. This is outside the Apple Store, and you see here a security guard trying his hardest to just stop the doors from being open. Let me give you some sound.
It's happening.
Meatball.
It's happening. Oh, my mama's happening. Oh, my God, mama. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. It's happening. It's happening. It's happening. This is real. This is real. God won. God won. God won. God won. God won. Free iPhones. Free iPhones. Free iPhones.
Doesn't really look like a crowd of individuals needing, baby supplies and such as usual justification.
I'm right, and it's not rioting. Janice Armstrong, writing the Inquirer, quotes Martin Luther King, saying riots are the voice of the unheard. We heard Meatball there, 650,000 followers, etc. Is she telling us some social message that you and I are missing?
And then let's go across the street, Dom, heading over to Lululemon.
Yo, they really... Oh, my my God. Oh shit, they in. Oh my God, they in there. They in there. Uh-oh. Damn. That's, oh my God. Free Philly. Okay, don't touch him. Oh my God, record this.
Dom, what is wrong with our city, man?
Well, look, I'm glad she recorded it. I quoted that and put it on Twitter, Dan. The Philadelphia bike cops took care of business, grabbing by the throat and all to pull people down and arrest them. And Stanford, the police commissioner, stands behind it. The media not reporting what you and I saw. This new acting commissioner did a much better job than Danielle Outlaw. There it is.
Yeah, so that's outside Lululemon when the cops arrive from a different angle. A lot of questions, Dom, being raised. Is this too brutal? Are police being too brutal in this case?
No, it's just subduing someone who doesn't want to be subdued. That's what I see here. What else are you supposed to do? Let him go?
Yeah, it's a great point. So, Dom, they continued their trek, went down to, what was this, the liquor store, I guess, over on Aramingo? I would think, Dom, take a watch. Just
okay.
Because the liquor is something that we need as well. Here's how that looked, the fine wine and spirits. Just absolute destruction.
And Dan, one thing we see what's going on here. They're moving away from the usual Center City and slightly a couple of other locations. They moved into Northeast Philadelphia, Roosevelt Mall, a lot of damage. They even hit a liquor store in Cheltenham Township, Cheltenham. So the suburbs are next.
Here's some more from Meatball, the now very infamous Philadelphian taking over social media.
Yes! Everybody must eat! Everybody must eat! Everybody must eat!
Look at the comments, too. That's what pisses me off about this one, Dom, is they're all like egging on in the comments, too. Rest well, Eddie. Yeah, this is for Eddie. Sure it is, Meatball.
Uh-oh, look, here come more people. Let's go.
So she's been charged with a litany of charges now. Felony after felony, I think 2 misdemeanors.
Right.
And so do you think, Krasner has an opportunity here to make a point that things are going to change in the city. Do you think he makes an example out of Meatball?
No, he drags this out as long as he can, and there'll be some kind of public service or something, Dan. You're not going to see him standing up there. In fact, has Krasner been up there reading the riot act like he usually does with his people surrounding him? I haven't seen that yet.
So, Dom, you mentioned Kenneth Fry, a 24-year-old, who was one of these looters, many looters, and I bring him up because now we're talking about Krasner. Krasner had the opportunity to keep this guy in jail. I'm sure many of these people have lengthy rap sheets. But back in 2022, this guy, Kenneth Fry, he was charged with third-degree murder after this situation. Eric Pope is the victim here. He's seen on surveillance dancing outside a club, Dom. And just look at this whopper of a punch. Take a watch.
Murder for the April 16th.
Why is there a sound? Well, no sound, I guess. But here you go. You have the guy dancing out here, and then you have Kenneth, who's working as a bouncer, walk over, just clock him, and take the guy's life there.
Wow.
Just absolutely heinous thing to see. But again, the point being, this guy should have been behind bars. Here in Philadelphia, we have over and over again repeat criminals, repeat offenders, just allowed to run reckless because of the policies of Larry Krasner.
And he already, in this, Steve Keeley says, Dan, dropped it down from third-degree murder to a lesser charge. And he was ready to make it a lesser charge. I mean, I don't know what this guy possibly could have done to just kill him right there with one punch. You see that. This is the guy that's got to be behind bars until we have a trial. Maybe the sheriff ought to look at that. But no, it's the cop that she wants behind bars.
It's nuts. Dom, for some levity, here is the end result of Meatball's fun night.
Told the police they either lock me up tonight or it's gonna get lit. It's gonna be a movie. I've wakened every blessed morning.
You're good. Where did you get this?
So Someone on Reddit made that just as as something to make fun of Meatball. But oh gosh, we don't need to hear any more of her. I think that's all we need from Meatball today, though, Dom. But she is now free, right? She was let go out of jail after being arrested. Or?
Yes, her supporters, her mom, egging on supporters and hashtag Meatball to come to the jail in Filbert, and there were a goodly number of her sycophants there, Dan, to chant and protest and threaten.
So, Dom, going down to Delaware Avenue now. Hank Flynn from Fox 29 posted this up. Wawa is a business that's known for convenience. I mean, that's what they make their money on, is being open all the time.
Right.
But I hate to tell you, here in Philadelphia, within the city of Philadelphia, there's only one 24-hour Wawa left in the entirety of Philadelphia. Hank Flynn approached that Wawa today for some, I guess, pre-show, maybe goods, or I don't know, but this is what he found. Where are you at? There you go. Store closed, unsurprisingly. A store that never closes, having to close. Just one of many with the repercussions of the rioting the other night. Dom, if you're a business owner here, you got to be thinking about organizing some kind of lawsuit, right?
Yes, or at least using your corporate power to threaten somebody in government to do something. Dan, Wawa, as much as I like it and all that, we've talked about this before. They give millions of dollars to the city in one form or another, the Independence Day and all that. They have leverage. If they're going to take this, how in the world do we speak up for them? They don't speak up for themselves.
Yeah. Minnie writes in, I don't agree with Gmail, who was in our chat. So we're every day also dining with Dom, noon to 1 every day. And Gmail in the chat was saying that we should blame left-wing judges and bail commissioners instead of Krasner, Dom. Just want your overall thoughts on that.
Well, they're there. They've always been there, Dan. But, you're taking your eye off the ball. Stop it already. You got it. This is the problem. You got an existential threat in front of you. People can't face this. My mentality is I've grown up saying, bring it on. So we keep on going after other causes and other things. Yes, those people exist. City council, that Isaiah Thomas, they're a part of the problem. But there is one smug, arrogant individual who is tremendous at his job, which is to destroy the justice system. That's Larry Krasner. You got to announce that. You got to take him on. People get tired, Dan. He doesn't get tired. And they give up and they swear bail commissioners and all. It's Krasner. How many times do you have to hear it?
Now to Society Hill, Dom,
Yes.
Another very important store is CVS from Steve Keeley being closed. Sign on the door explicitly mentioning the reason why. We'll see here in a second. Store closing at 7 p.m. for safety. The repercussions of the crap that Larry Krasner allows to play out here in Philadelphia. And Dom, this is CVS. This is a pharmacy. A lot of people have pharmaceutical goods, so rely on it in the neighborhood. We saw Wawa. We've seen this done at grocery stores, liquor stores. And progressives love to bitch and moan about, quote, food deserts. But at the same time, their policies are enabling the environment in which businesses feel they cannot operate. So I want to point out the hypocrisy of just progressive mindsets of complaining about food deserts while also creating criminal justice reform that creates these food deserts in the first place.
And this is in one of the most protected, affluent areas. Everybody knows Society Hill. In the other parts of the city, in West Philly, Dan, pharmacies there, neighborhood pharmacies, they're ravaged. In North Philly, they're ravaged. Already people have trouble finding a pharmacy. You have to be nuts to put a pharmacy there. And what do they do after something like this? Well, some of them decide, we're not going to come back. That's it.
Jim writes in, let's hope the new commissioner means business. And we showed that video earlier outside Lululemon, but yesterday also there was a group of teenagers walking by City Hall, and I think this is Philly Crime Update that got this material. But you see just the police cops following them on bike, making sure that nothing, breaks out. But
I think he does. Look, there are other candidates to be the police commissioner, but this guy so far has struck such a tone, and the media, Dan's not reporting it, because if they report it, they have to compare to Danielle Outlaw, who's an absolute epitome of affirmative action. This man is African-American, long-serving Philadelphia Police Department. He's done a very good job here.
And let's end it on some levity, Dom. This is without your permission, so I don't know. These
Okay.
cops that were out there the other night, absolutely honorable, fantastic job. But when you're chasing idiots like this, sometimes embarrassing moments might happen. And this video went viral, Dom, and I just want to play it back just for a quick laugh. I feel so bad for this police officer, but doing a great job wrangling these individuals, and this happens. So you see the guy hurtle out, right? He hurls out.
Yep.
See the cop right behind him just bail.
Oh.
I guess he didn't see it, but hurl and faceplant.
Oh man.
It's like I feel for these guys. I have sympathy, empathy for these idiots that have to. I'm sorry, not the cops there, but the people that have to chase these idiots around the city and bring law and order because our leadership just refuses to do anything about it.
But the point I made, those bicycle cops, I don't think would have done what they did at Lululemon under Daniel Outlaw. Why did they do it under Stanford? We're told internally, the word went out, we're not letting them do this stuff. And I think Stanford will ratchet up. We're into night 3 now. This could be of trouble like this. Last night, for a second night, was big. It wasn't as big as the first. But who does it on a second night? It usually doesn't happen.
If there's any silver lining to pull from this, Dom, I don't know if you can from riots and looting that break out of Philadelphia, it's that indeed you are correct that it seems like there is money being put where the mouth is in, hardening policing, that there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and hopefully Philadelphia with some good policing can actually become safe and enjoyable again, unlike it currently is.
Exactly.
That's all we got today on KRASNERLAND. It was not a very safe week, and it was not a very hard to prepare for show, but I will hope for myself a harder job next week and that we have a safe week and nothing to talk about, and it's hard to prepare for. We'll hope and pray for a safe week here in KRASNERLAND in Philadelphia, but until then, you can hear us every day, noon until 3, right on the 1210 WPHT app, our Odyssey app, 1210 WPHT, 1210WPHT.com, or on the AM airwaves, and right here on YouTube from noon until 1, Dining with Dom. Dom, any final thoughts before we get out of here?
Tomorrow, we hope to have on the candidate for Pennsylvania Supreme Court, which is huge when you're talking about law enforcement and all these things. And, of course, all the usual stuff.
We will see you right here on 1210 WPHT or youtube.com/1210 WPHT. Have a good one, everyone. Bye-bye.